What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another adventure with the Bearded Bobber. Now, as you guys can see, I posted this on Instagram the other day. If you're not following me on Instagram, well, then you're not following the whole adventure, and you should totally go over there and do that. I have my mic set up with a new mic stand, trying some new things out. It's a little cold. It's been raining a lot. Merry Christmas Eve. Like, however you guys do that, I hope you guys are having a great start to the holidays. Well, you know, for Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff like that. But I wanted to get in here, and we're wrapping 2019 up. This year felt like it was going so slow. You know, we were waiting for so many different events. SEMM being one of the biggest ones. Meeting all the guys, so it was like, okay, when's this going? When's this gonna happen? You know, and then bring it home and so on. We're gonna get into that, but and all of a sudden it's over. 2019 is coming to an end within a week, or roughly a week, 8 days, something like that, from the time this video first airs. And it's crazy to look back. So what I really wanted to touch on was kind of that aspect, because this year was a really big year for me in many ways. I'm not talking about the moto vlog aspect of it, which that helped a lot, and a lot of different things I've been doing to kind of like get out of my shell that I've been in for a long time. And I think a lot of us do that, and it's something that we should work past. I'm not saying everybody has to and everybody's comfortable. I love staying home. For a very long time, I worked 7 days a week, and I didn't get to just stay home. So when you don't get to just stay home, it gets to be hard. And then I had 1 day off a week, and it was like we had to go do, we went and did stuff, and there's a lot of stuff I missed by working so much. And I talked about that in one of my other videos, but this one, my biggest point of this video that I want to make is get out there, start doing it. I started doing it in 2018, and I kicked it up a notch in 2019. I'm going to kick it up another notch in 2020. Life's short, guys. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I'm not, nothing's happening to me, knock on wood, but I look back and I'm like, where did my 20s go? You know, I was working and working and working. Yeah, I'm in a good spot right now, but there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I've missed, and especially with the kiddos, I'm trying not to do that. My parents lived a great life, and my dad's still out there rocking it, and him and mom are still doing it, and then my mom passed away a long time ago, and she's missed that stuff with the kids, missed that stuff with me. A lot of little things. She lived a great life for what she did. She was out there, and I'm really looking back and looking at that. I want to do this, and I want to be this with my kids, and I think 2019 did that. So I'm going to kind of recall that a lot of things that happened this year, pushing forward, and there's big things out there, and we need to see them and do them, and it's a lot easier said than done, but I feel like I've been getting there. 2018, I got my motorcycle license. I started riding, started making YouTube videos, started making new friends. If you want a friend, I want to make a whole video on just this. If you're looking to get friends, get a hobby, and this is a fun one. It's not for everybody, but it's for me, and I've met some amazing people doing it. This year, looking forward to some of the big events, and even some of the ones that I just hadn't done before. Starting off, looking back at the Laughlin River Run. This is the first year that I got to go on my motorcycle, or any motorcycle, to be frank about it. I worked at the Colorado Bell when I was younger, and I visited the Laughlin River Run plenty of times with my parents, and just work, living in the area. So that was always like a routine thing. But I didn't get to be one of the ones out there on the bike. This time I did it. Next time, probably for a future video for 2020 events, but Oatman is where I think I really want to try, because that seems like that's taking over the show in Laughlin. I'd still like to visit Laughlin during the time. But we'll get, into that and hopefully figure out more things and see if there's bigger events going on in Laughlin. Maybe we can try to figure out and attend that. I also get to spend time with family while I'm out there. But Bombshell and I rode from Southern California, let's say Redlands, for anybody who doesn't know, like when I'm at Indian Redlands. It's about 280 miles, 260 miles, something like that. I think 260 from Beaumont. And we rode out to Kingman, Arizona. So we went out there, spent the night at my brother's house, and did the whole Laughlin thing. There's a video for that you guys can check out if you haven't seen the Laughlin River Run before. I don't get into the crazy party stuff, and there definitely was some other videos for that out there if you want to check those out. But it was a great time, and Oatman looked like it was way busier and way more going on, so I definitely want to try that out. And that's an old town on Route 66. But getting back, so we got to do that. Then on the way back, we went through some crazy weather. I know people go through way more than what we went through, but we went through some heavy rain, lightning coming down, some of the hardest wind we've ever ridden through before, period. Yeah, the big bagger guys are cruising right through, but yeah, Vulcan is super light. The Bobber is, is a still light bike, and we were, maybe a little bit less than a year under our belt, so we pushed on through with that. And then after that, just taking some personal time, we did the Grand Canyon with the kids. I planned that out ahead of time for the most part, knew what we were going to do, and I hadn't seen the Grand Canyon since I was a kid, and our kids hadn't seen it, so we got to do that. Also video, but that was fun, and seeing their faces, and when you look at the Grand Canyon, it doesn't even look real. So I'm already planning on taking a trip, even if it's just like a cabin somewhere with the kids, getting away from it all next summer. And when they talked about vacations before as adults and wanting to do all this stuff, really start to see it now. Hopefully I'll be able to pass that kind of message on to the kids later on. We got back from the Grand Canyon though and did SEMM. That was fun. That was there's the family, you got to have different levels of fun, I think, when you're getting older and you have the kids. It's a different world, and sometimes you got to actually push for that kind of stuff. And anybody my age might understand that. Some of the guys older already know. You guys are wiser than me, and I'm trying to take lessons, I promise. Going with SEMM and meeting a good amount of the Indian motorcycle world. I mean, I met Open Roader when he came out to LA, and I couldn't pass that up. And then when SEMM came around, I got to meet Meatball Rebel again, Jay Fass, a couple of his Canadian buddies, Kevin and Chris. Sorry. It's late, guys. I'm a little tired. But Brandon Picasso came out from the East Coast. We all got together, hung out at the house, did the big, barbecue thing, friends, family. Man, that was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire SEMM weekend. I loved riding with all you guys out there that went to SEMM as well. The guys who threw SEMM, the Garbage Pail Kids, you guys kicked ass. Chuckster, Warbeard, Psych Nurse, Full Pin, Mr. V-Rod, badass. I don't care if anybody says otherwise. You guys had an uphill battle, and you plowed right through the hill. Great job, guys, and looking forward to more stuff in 2020 with you guys. But, so I'm not trying to take away from that, from the event, from the Palm Springs fun and partying, but that fun right here, right in the house, that was good. And then the ride to Vegas after SEMM, getting out with these guys and experience 118 degree weather on hot motorcycles, just chugging right along through the desert and just going, looking for like an oasis pretty much is what it started to feel like. But these are adventures that, if you don't start getting out there and doing them, you're going to miss out. And it could be little things. Take little time for yourself to get out and do these things. And that's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to next year. I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do this year, but if you overload yourself at first, then it's going to be overwhelming and you're not going to do it, or you're not going to enjoy it. So right after SEMM, felt like right after SEMM, we had Bring It Home, and that was an adventure in itself where we actually had to tow the bikes due to time limits because, once again, Bombshell and I are, I probably could have made it out there faster on a bike, with depending on traffic in certain areas and stuff like that. If lane splitting is legal in those states, I don't know. But we had a blast just spending time out there. And a couple years before that, I didn't even have a bike. I was doing other things like car shows and stuff with the Mustang, and none of them felt like this. Nothing felt like I was really getting out there and enjoying life. So I'm able to do this and enjoy it and make new friends. And you guys, when you get older, if you don't have a certain group that you connect with and you isolate yourself, which a lot of us my age do, that's why there's these introverts and extroverts and people who do well with crowds and people who don't. I don't do well with most crowds. Having similar interests, Bring It Home, motorcycle, bikers, all that stuff really connected, and I've found something that I enjoy, and I hope that you do the same. If you're watching this channel, most likely you're into motorcycles, so you found that hobby, and I hope that you're using it to its fullest. I plan to do the same thing with next year. You just keep upping it and adding new events and doing new things. Maybe not do the same thing over and over again, because that could get a little much, and you want to enjoy these different things that are out there. I'm sorry, guys. I look back at what I was doing before, and I feel I'm mad at myself for not taking care of myself. And I understand that can sound selfish, but I don't mean it in that way whatsoever. I mean, of course, if you're not caring about yourself and you're not being happy, then it's going to be a lot harder to make other people happy. Have you been around that energy that's just like flowing and fun and energetic? Those people are happy most of the time. Some people it's hard. Maybe they're pushing it, but that's the energy. When you're putting off that energy and you get it back, it's amazing, and you can help brighten somebody's day. It's not a lot harder to help somebody be happy when you're, hey guys, how's it going? Look, Grumpy Gus, be happy with us. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. I'm a big believer in friendship and honor and all that stuff, and making sure everyone's whole. I go out, I want to have a good time. I had a friend in high school who was that friend that we'd be at prom and he'd go out to his car because he was sad and he'd listen to music in his car. I'd end up being out there with him, trying to talk him to come back in, come have a good time, and at that prom I was single, he was single, didn't go anywhere else, but he's talking about the girls in there and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm single too. It doesn't matter. We're in there having a good time with our friends on our senior prom. Those moments you gotta take and enjoy. And I think the older we get, the more we pull away, the more we stop doing stuff. Can you guys look back and just remember enjoying time in high school? If you're sitting in a truck with your buddy hanging out, or at a park and you're sitting in the back of the truck with your girlfriend and he's sitting in the truck with his girlfriend and you're just enjoying the moment. It didn't have to be more than that. So nowadays we have to stretch it a little bit more of finding that happiness in it. But if you're letting all of it go by, you're letting it all go by. So I hope you take note from this, that you try to do it. I don't want to say seize your moment, because that's just a moment. Seize multiple moments, little ones here and there. Smile. Hopefully it'll make another person smile that day too. It doesn't have to be just about us, but if we're happy, maybe we can make our kids happy, our friends happy, our significant other happy. You know, we're going into 2020, guys, and we're gonna keep trucking along. And I believe that this is something that was really behind the initial hashtag support. So hashtag supportmvc with Dirty D's. I don't ever really think it was a sub for sub. I was there from the beginning. I'm lucky that I saw his video, and I'm very happy to call him a good friend. And many of you guys that I've met, and if I haven't met you, I'm pretty sure I feel pretty close to you guys, and I can't wait till the day that we not only hopefully do we ride together, but we get to hang out, chill, and share one of those moments that we get to capture. All right, you guys. I'm going to leave it there. And I want to thank all of you for a great 2019 on my part. You guys have made 2019 a fantastic time. Looking back, and this wasn't meant to be really a looking back just for me. I really like behind the message of just doing it. But what it really, really, really comes down to is getting out there and seizing the moment. And I hope this message spreads. I really do. Like I said, if you guys can smile, maybe hopefully I made you smile. Maybe you make somebody else smile. Maybe you seize a moment, and at that same exact time, other people are seizing that moment as well, and you get to share it. And I think that's very special. So I'm gonna leave you guys with something a little bit different. Stay safe, stay classy, and seize those moments. All right, guys. Have a good holiday. Let's rock 2020.